And welcome everybody to the 2025 Formula One World Championship from round at number 8 at Monaco. Principality which we all wish we were prince of. I guess that makes sense. Monaco Grand Prix. Incredible weekend, obviously. Lots of stars on the grid for Martin Rumble to rumble about, and Naomi Campbell was interviewed, which was great. I think Martin got a black eye, but I'm not certain about that. That could be made up. She threw a phone at him or something. I don't know. I don't know. Can't remember.
Missed that. That's the only exciting thing I've heard from the Grand Prix this weekend.
Well, that was the only injury that happened, apart from the pride of the FIA for coming up with such a stupid fucking rule as having to pit twice or use three separate types of tyres, whatever. I don't know. Whatever that was, it was an abomination, and I wish I could have just watched the first corner and then gone to sleep like I normally do. But no, I had to stay awake to see the whole goddamn race just in case somebody decided to drive their car into a wall and cause a red flag, which they didn't. This is the first race of the year probably where that hasn't happened.
It's just not good enough.
No, it's not good enough.
No, it's not true. Somebody got into the wall. Apparently.
Oh, somebody did. Yes, yeah, they did. You're absolutely right. Just didn't cause a red flag, or at least a safety car. Anyway, there we go. All I'm going to say now is I'm going to go through the race very quickly for everybody because obviously once the first corner's done, as usual at Monaco, it's pretty much done. Anyway, qualifying first, Lando Norris, 109.9. 5, an amazing time, got to say, new lap record there for Norris. Second place, Charles Leclerc, the pastry, 110.063, very close behind, about a tenth of a second. Third place, Oscar Piastri, 110.1. Lewis Hamilton in fourth place, although later to be demoted 3 places because of his incident of blocking Max Verstappen on a lap, which Max Verstappen didn't even decide to complete anyway, or was never going to complete because he didn't need the time because it was all done and dusted by then. Again, FIA, are they racist? Well, Lewis Hamilton, is he black? Are they racist? There's one answer. There's the same answer to both of those. Then in fifth place, Max Verstappen later moved up to fourth. Sixth place, Isaac Hadjar moved up to fifth, of course. And then seventh would be Lewis Hamilton from the 3-place grid penalty. Alonso behind him. Then Ocon, Lawson. Well done to Lawson. Certainly a very good qualifying. I feel very sorry for him, despite the fact he was so close to Isaac. Had to be made the sacrificial lamb in that team. I guess this is his last year with them. And Alex Albon in 10th place. Beyond that, I won't bother reading them because it's all fairly boring. The only notable exceptions of boring, of course, are the 2 Mercedes in 14th and 15th place. On to the race, anyway. Lights out. And when they went out, an amazing amount of anticipation. Norris got away very well. A great start by Leclerc. Managed to hold on to second, though. Piastri, Max Verstappen, fearing for his life in the first corner because he was next to Piastri, decided to back off. First time I've ever seen that happen. And then Isaac behind. Lewis got away to a poor start as Alonso overtook him. However, it wasn't be too long before he would get by. And that was pretty much the race, other than the tactics of the pit stops, which I won't bother going into because they are so boring that I just never wish to see them again. I seriously hope that despite what people are saying in the commentary boxes, because of course it gave them something to talk about, I seriously hope that the FIA never do this again. I would rather go to some ridiculous, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Some ridiculous gimmick, like watering the track. I mean, it should be easy to do. Bob! Hey, Bob's back, everybody! Hey! Oh, I'm so glad to see you, as we all are. I think everybody's going to type in chat to you because we are pleased to see you. Bob, fantastic. Please tell us all about what's been going on. And obviously, if you have any comments about the race, please stick them in because I certainly need some help. Anyway, bollocks to the rest of the race. There was 2 stops for everybody. Everybody but Russell decided to do one. Russell decided to take a penalty. And instead of giving a 5-second, which was the normal kind of penalty for that kind of incident, or a 10-second, which is the supposed new penalty, which they give out just to be a little stricter, they decided to be even more strict and give him a drive-through, which was a 30-second. Which still wasn't slow enough to actually penalise him for doing the move on Carlos Sainz. However, there you go. Apart from that, everything else was boring. They finished the race pretty much in that order. If I were to tell you what the actual race finishing order was, it was, of course, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, Lewis in 5th, having overtaken 2 people. Then Isaac, Ocon driving the Haas up the field very well. Liam Lawson then, despite the fact he had to slow the whole field down in order to give Isaac Hadjar the easy pit stop. And then Albon in 9th place, Carlos Sainz in the other Williams in 10th place, having played the same move. And it's because of slowing the field up, of course, that I seriously object to this new rule. I'm going to pass it straight over to Fabio because I'm so disgusted with the FIA that I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, so the common mistake that people does when Monaco is on is to think that the race is on Sunday, which it isn't. I mean, the race in Monaco has been and has always been on Saturday. Even in even in times before this ones, where cars were they look more like, I mean, they had the sides of of racing cars and not like the Cybertrucks, which made overtaking absolutely impossible. Yeah, I mean, so the race was on Saturday. It was good. I mean, the qualifying was great. Most MVP, I think, was Ocon, amazing with the ass, and Ajar. I think those were the 2 surprises. Monte Carlo is still a track which values experience, and that's why I think we saw Alonso in I think it was 6th or 7th in qualifying, and of course when his car broke down during the race, because Ajay knew he was there, and so decided, okay, let's break the car. And talking about Newey and the Aston, absolutely great weekend from them. Stroll, which I'm feeling really close to what Lucky is going to say about Stroll later on. Even if I think I won't agree completely with that, but we get there when he speaks. But yeah, Stroll decided to go all around the track, causing a crash with Leclerc. That was pretty much it. Hamilton made nice qualifying too, but again, I think it boils down a lot to experience. It was really interesting again on Saturday because it was really the fight of the man versus machine. By machine, I mean the McLaren, which is still the best car on the lot, and the men were basically Leclerc and Verstappen. That they try to ruin the party, and they almost did it. I think Leclerc made a fantastic lap, but again, it was just by a smidge that Norris managed to to get quali and then later on win the race, which I think is going to be good for his mental state. It remains to be seen if he can keep it on. So I don't know. As far as the rule which was put in place, yeah, it turned out to make not too much of a difference. There was some really funny things, like Sainz and Albon, compacting all the cars, to give his teammate the time to make a pit stop and blah blah, blah and all that stuff. I mean, it turned out not to make any difference at all, actually. Uh, um, Simon's already mentioned the thing about Russell, which cracked me up. Actually, I could feel the frustration. I said, "Yo, fucking hell, I'm gonna cut the chicane in order to pass sides because there is no way." And that shows again, how difficult it is to pass on Monaco that we knew, but how impossible it was on this track. Keep in mind that when, for example, Russell was trying to pass Sainz, uh, but that happened also with Lawson and Ajar and other drivers. But Sainz was lapping something like 4 seconds slower than Russell. So if you have a car which can lap 4 seconds faster than the one in front of you, and you can't pass it, I mean, what else do we need to say? It's impossible to pass. I hope that I think in 2026 the cars will be a bit smaller, so that there is hope. But still, they're big. And again, I'm just finishing by quoting Leclerc. They asked him after the race if he thought about going at Norris, and he said, "Well, I've been thinking about it the whole Saturday night, trying to find a place, thinking in my mind, where can I try to make a pass?" And he also thought about a couple of spots, namely, I think he thought about the Rascasse and the now it's the Fairmont, but it's the Loews. So it's the airplane before the tunnel. So he seriously thought about that, but he never got the chance to do that. So yeah, nice race by Charles. I think he was really disappointed, but I think that he will realize that getting second in Monaco this year with those McLarens, it's I would say is the same as a victory, but it's as close, as you can get, and way more than anybody else did. So yeah, that would be my recap of Monaco.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'd like to pass it over to Lucky. How did you find Monaco? Anything interesting for you?
Well, was there anything interesting? I don't think there was, to be fair. We'll start, of course, with my man, the man of the moment, who is Isaac Hajar. Once again, Hijack was the best of the rest Red Bull driver. He qualified sixth, and he finished the race in sixth, compared to his more illustrious and experienced teammates, who were 9th and 8th for Lawson, 12th and 17th for Sonoda. So he's earning his money more than the other two boys, for sure. So long may it continue, despite the fact that he had a bit of a moment when he brushed one of the barriers in free practice. He came back. From that, qualified sixth, like I said, and he finished the race sixth. Got his head down and he kept going, as he seems to do every week. No fuss or messing around. He just does his job, which is brilliant. Fabio talked about Stroll. I think once again, it is time for Mike Crack to give his opinion. And Mike Crack says Lance Stroll finished 15th, but he's still a twat.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I strongly disagree with that. I think the Lance Stroll has proven to be what you guys in the UK, I think, call a blithering idiot.
Bumbling amateur? How would that? Bumbling amateur.
Yeah.
But yes, he's definitely one of them.
He graduated from twat to blithering idiot. I think, yeah.
Yeah. I've got to agree with that. One other thing about it, I think perhaps that young Mr. Stroll has been told that he won't be getting a drive next year, despite the fact he's in contract. His demeanor has changed very, very much this year. When he does any interviews, he gives one-word answers, and he's out of that interview as quickly as possible. And I think perhaps they said to him, listen, Lance, it's time for you to get on your bike and go and play some tennis, and we'll get some real drivers for the real car we have with the real designer, who's, of course, Adrian Newey. So that's them. Drive of the day. I might agree with you when you say Hajar. What do you think, Simos?
No, obviously not. Who won the race on Saturday?
Can I put my case forward?
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry, I thought you wanted me to say who. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I do, but let me put the case for Hajar. Despite his free practice and discretion, he learned from his mistake really quickly. He was sixth in qualifying, which was basically behind all the fast guys, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, and the two McLarens. He was the best of the rest field, apart from those guys, and he raced his race. He didn't mess about. He took advantage of the stupid rule to pit stop. What was it, the second lap he came in, or the first lap he came in?
No, not Hajar. No. Lawson held up the field in order to give Hajar an easy pit stop.
Okay, I thought he came in really early. But
no, it was the Haas that came in really early.
Okay, right. Okay, fair enough. Well, as I said, he was the best of the rest. We all knew who were going to take up the first 5 positions, and the rest of it was all open, and he managed to do it. So I'll give Hajar as my driver of the day.
Okie doke.
And what do you think?
Well, I mean, for me, I'd love to have said Leclerc, and the reason for that, of course, is he was super fast all weekend. He fastest in all 3 practices, and it looked to the world that he was going to get pole. So my driver of the day has to go to Norris for beating that and getting a new lap record around Monaco. Really,
fair enough. Okay, well, so we're split this week.
Yeah, I would say. So I would divide that. I think on Saturday, to me, the driver which impressed me the most, all things considered, was Ocon. As for the race, I will give it to Norris just because he almost fucked up the first corner, but he managed to make the corner. So it's an encouragement. But what I really would love to give it is to Leclerc. But just because Norris managed not to fuck up the first corner, I will give him an encouragement prize, and say, okay, it's you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're split this week. Split decision this week. We've got Simos with, who was it, sorry? Ocon?
Norris for me as well. Okay, Bub says it's Leclerc for me, driver of the day, and I really wish I could. Fabio, as I say, we really wanted him to do it. I thought he was going to get pole by by at least a tenth myself, but Norris somehow. I mean, like I've been saying all season to these guys, Norris is just super fast. I don't know where he drags it out. I don't know how he manages to drag it out, but somehow he's just always super fast, and he managed to show that again today, again on Saturday. Just exactly what he can do when given the right car, and he must have got everything out to beat Piastri as well, who is known for having cojones, which is what you need around Monaco. I think that's something else. Really shows.
I think he lacks experience in Monaco, so I wasn't expecting a lot from him, to be fair.
Well, Leclerc did have one thing that the rest of them didn't get, and that is, of course, he got Lance strolled. He got twatted by the Stroll man.
So he did get twatted. Yeah. That is true. Okay. Anything else you've got?
Yes. I'll tell you. What about the Williams boys this weekend? I didn't hear much from them. Simon, what are you saying about your team?
Well, to be honest, I prefer not to speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Glad we got that joke out the way with.
Well, I would say something about it. What is the name of the team director? Wolves? Wolf. How's his name is pronounced?
Who are you talking about?
The team
Sorry.
director of Williams.
Follows.
Wolves. Yeah, he apparently sent a message to Toto Wolff during the race.
Yeah, he
Which,
did.
by the way, a team that I would really not want to speak about is Mercedes because I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. But so Wolves sent a message to Toto Wolff saying, "I'm really sorry what we did, but we had to do that because of what happened later, blah blah blah." And Toto Wolff said, "Yeah, we all got it." They're friends, so think
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, a quick word about Mercedes because uh, I seriously thought at mid race, because when they were not stopping, I seriously thought, okay, Toto Wolff has found something in the rule book which will allow it to do something really crazy, like not pitting and then getting a penalty, but because of this, or pitting, or putting stopping and putting four tires, take away the tires, put in four tires again. I was really thinking, okay, he seriously got something. And then by lap 60, I said, those guys are drunk. I mean, they have no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what happened. They have no idea what the fuck
No
they
idea.
were going to do. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
if they'd gone for, like, if Mercedes had gone for, or thought they were going to go for, right, well, we're going to get, when there's a safety car or if there's a red flag, then we got a chance here. Which, as far as I could see, is the only way that you can
yeah.
make positions in the grid. Then they should have just pitted their drivers lap 1, lap 2, put some hard tires on and gone for it. But
Yeah.
then no, they didn't even do that, right? They didn't even go
Uh,
for the, like, I know we can just cruise around, so no worries. We'll just stick some hard tires on, and away we go. But they wouldn't even do that. They didn't even pit. They just hoped for a safety car in order to
yeah.
get a cheaper pit stop.
Yeah.
Cheaper pit stops are not going to get you anywhere near the front. It was a forlorn hope. And there we go. Right. I just want to go on to what Bubba's been saying
Yeah.
quickly because we do like to do this next year. Kart race in Monaco with F1 drivers. You're welcome. Thank me later. Yeah, just like the old days. What was the Race of Champions used to be good back in the day, didn't it? Because it was all race karts,
Yeah.
and that's when I used to watch it. It was good. No, look, we have done that one. The only rule for the kart has to fit inside a cardboard box provided by the FIA. But we know the FIA; they'll give everybody a different cardboard box. So, just saying. The tyre change thingy was a one-off for Monaco. Yes, it certainly was. We hope that it was a one-off for Monaco forever. Like, we never want to see it again because it was really stupid.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think that in a 24 races calendar, you can have Monaco. I think. I mean, mostly because again,
Oh, no,
the
no. I'm
fact.
not saying about Monaco. I'm saying about the tyre thing at
Oh,
Monaco.
okay. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I hope
yeah,
it's just a one-off
yeah,
this year. They're not going to repeat it again.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind. Indeed, Thomas. Thank you. Welcome, Pope. Welcome. Yeah, and like, I wouldn't mind if they'd said, right, soft tires. That's it. Just you can only use soft tires. We'll give you extra soft tires. You can only use soft tires, and if you pit, right, yeah, you're going to lose whatever 30 seconds, but
It would.
you'll certainly make that up. Go ahead. Just as
No.
a
I mean, it would
throwaway
have
idea.
made. No, it would have made more sense if they said, "Well, you got to use three sets, but you got to use all the three sets." Soft, medium, and hard, for example.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I think the best idea is still the Bernie Ecclestone button,
yeah,
the the
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
yeah.
the, the, the flood the track button. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. I think flood the track as well.
yeah,
Seems like because they always talk about it, don't they? They always say,
yeah.
"Of
I
course,
know,
we've
right?
had some great races at Monaco when it rains." Just
Yeah,
like
Max
a
Verstappen.
random, like attach it to a random number generator, right?
yeah.
And it just floods every now and again, with maybe 15 laps in between at minimum. No one
Max,
knows when it's going to happen. Yeah.
Max Verstappen
Oh,
had an
but
idea. Max Verstappen said banana skins, which actually would be a good way to get the crowd involved. because you can have the crowd at one corner with a load of bananas, and if they think things aren't going well, they can start throwing the bananas in the track.
No, I mean,
Right.
what I think is that right now they're waiting for Benny Ecclestone to die, just not to give him
Credit.
the "I told you so" line. Okay, we wait for the guy to die, and then we'll do that. But it's a
Yeah,
fucking brilliant idea in Monaco. But
it
we don't
really is.
want to do it while he's alive, because
Yeah,
yeah,
every year is a wet race in Monaco.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. Um, but no, it's that like a moment thing. Do you remember what year was it that they had a fantastic race at Monaco because because it rained? I'm thinking it was 83 or 84, 84
84
maybe.
was
Because
84 was the time Prost stopped the race early when Senna was on.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think yeah,
yeah,
no, it was the year before that as well. It was raining. Senna's first year, I think he was driving a Tolman or
hmm
something,
yeah,
and that was just a superb race, right?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe you're right. It was 84. I don't know.
84, yeah. 84.
It was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they stopped the race while Prost was ahead because I mean Senna was coming like a bat out of hell. I have to say,
There,
oh,
there
gotta
was,
stop the race.
there was a race a couple of years earlier than that, I think that Simons might be thinking, and that was the race where Prost was like a mile ahead in a race that had started wet and had dried and then got wet again, and he crashed the Renault. I think it was coming out of the swimming pool or one of those, and that was a brilliant race as well.
yeah. So that's all we're saying. Just go to Bernie Ecclestone. He was always a staple for Formula One, and I think he got some things right. Anyway, there we go. Is there so much more to say about Monaco other than like it can be a good race, but nothing
What
to
about
do with the
Hamilton's
actual
penalty?
on-track action, more to do with the pit action.
And
What about the
and not with
penalty?
those cars. Not absolutely not with those cars.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not go down that road just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like. Yeah, this is a good point. I do like the FIA is trying new ideas in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well. And I think it's out of desperation because of Pirelli. Because Pirelli have just never really. We had no, seriously, we had a couple of.
Honestly, what the fuck does
Tires,
Pirelli has to do with Monaco?
those tires are absolutely round.
You made me laugh now.
Lucky, please go ahead. You say something because I can't. I mean,
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton's penalty. Forget those tires. Lewis Hamilton's penalty. What about that? Do you think that was a bit on the harsh side?
yeah, it was.
It
was.
I can't believe that. I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, no.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Just carry on.
I'll tell you what happened during this race. If you listen to the radio, everybody was accusing everybody else of bad driving. At some point, they just, I don't know what this whining, oh, he did this and he did that and he did that. Oh, yeah, grip. It's fucking Formula
Well, I
One
mean,
race.
Russell was complaining because Sainz was basically, braking like 10 meters before the corner because he had to make way for Albon or vice versa. Can't remember. So he might have a point there. Was
Yeah,
kind of
for sure.
dangerous.
Of course,
Good
Russell's
choice.
never done anything ever like that before.
Oh no! Fuck it. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Yeah,
they're all virgins over there, right? I mean, they're
no,
puppies with no sin, and yeah.
It's a good point though. Like because like brake testing is extremely dangerous, especially when you don't have brake lights. So like it's a good point. Nobody actually crashed apart from Interstroll, and he doesn't count. So there you go. What can we say there? The other thing I just wanted to add is the point I was going to make before I started pissing myself laughing was there was a couple of years when Pirelli took we want these tires to wear out very quickly and to go off a cliff, right? And I think if we could get back to that where they weren't so insistent on their tires not just breaking down and suddenly and actually that way they wouldn't last for any more than the prescribed number of laps. I think we wouldn't have to give demands about how many pit stops that you have to make, etc., because the tires would wear out quite naturally. And if they could make those tires to do that, I'd be a lot happier. However, I'm not saying it's an easy thing. It certainly isn't, and they struggled for those 2 years that they managed to get them to do that. And of course, it was embarrassing when the tires blew up because drivers decided to try and push it to the limit. So I do understand that. Don't trust Lucky. Don't trust Lucky. He's a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. I get what you did there, Bub. Yeah. His avatar. Yeah. Go ahead, Lucky. What do you say?
Well, there's so many options you could have with the tires. I mean, we could have the tires being capable of lasting the whole race, and everybody just has the one set of tires, and there's no fucking about with pit stops or anything like that. But that's going to make a procession, unless somebody's really brave. So, what the hell do you do?
Well,
It's
like
going to be
Mansell
boring.
was.
It's going to be
was.
boring. Yeah, well, Mansell had a brand new set of tires, and he still couldn't get past Senna. And by the way, Senna brake checked Mansell a load of times on that particular race. Mansell complained about it afterwards. He said he was braking 50 yards early for corners. Nobody complained about that.
Well, obviously Mansell did, but yeah.
A quick thing about you mentioned before, Lucky, about the Hamilton Verstappen thing. So first of all, Verstappen and Hamilton talked, and Verstappen actually said during the interviews, I spoke with Lewis. I really can't blame him. So he wasn't really mad about it. It was more, I don't know why the FIA did that. And apparently there was also, and this is another problem in Monaco, which is not so talked about. Communications are really difficult because usually you don't want to talk to your driver while he's in a corner. Good fucking luck with that in Monaco, right? Because it's all over the place. So, and apparently one of the reasons why that happened is because they gave Lewis, the communication was a little bit too late, so it couldn't disappear, when Verstappen got to the point.
It's actually a bit worse than that. Okay, this is the reason I think it was very harsh. That holding someone up has a penalty. It's a fixed penalty. They applied the penalty to the most they could. So fair enough. Like that, he was definitely held up. Verstappen was on his fast lap. Lewis was on the racing line, and Verstappen had to abort his lap. His lap was inconsequential, yes, and there were mitigating circumstances, which is why I think they could have just given him a one-place grid penalty or just swapped him with Verstappen, and that would have been fair enough. However, there was even what I heard after the race was that what actually happened was the guy saw that that Verstappen was on his fast lap, and he gave that information to Lewis. But then what happened was that the FIA feed to the pits didn't, or rather Verstappen's whatever it is transponder went blank, right? And so he was taken off that list of fast lap people. And then that information was passed to Lewis, and then it came back on again, but too late. So I think there was a problem with the FIA's transponder to Verstappen's car, which is what caused that problem. And that for that reason, I think, because A, nobody crashed, and B, that lap was inconsequential to Verstappen. I do think that they could have just waived the penalty and said, okay, this is a problem at Monaco anyway. We're not going to be too restrictive and ruin somebody's race. I think what they should have done anyway is give him a one grid penalty, the same as they gave to Stroll in free practice for moving across the track and blocking somebody. And if that isn't inhibiting somebody's lap, I don't know what is.
Was it Berman which when Hamilton crashed in free practice? Because it happened almost in the same place.
It did,
Was it Berman? So, okay, they gave it penalty.
I think it was. Yeah. They did. 10 places for that, I think he got.
Yeah.
So again, and that was in practice. So,
Yeah, and also,
sorry, Fabio, just got to
yeah,
say, these penalties are not supposed to be applied on consequential basis. So you're not supposed
yeah,
to look at what happened and then apply a penalty depending on how severe it was.
right,
You're supposed to just apply a penalty depending on what the rule break is, and
yeah.
not to do with whether the car's crashed or not. So I do think that there's it's now we've gone down this road. The FIA have decided to go down this road of seeing how bad the accident is before they apply the penalty. Then they ought to be a little more considerate of their own mistakes. In this case, not providing a proper feed to the teams of accurate information as to where people are on the track. Anyway, that's my 10
Yeah.
pennies worth. I'd like to hear what. Don't trust Lucky. He's a bit of a wolf. Okay. What did you think of that incident with Lewis? Obviously, Bob, you're a huge Verstappen fan. Do you think Lewis should have been penalised to the max? What I did there? See what I did there?
Oh boy.
Thank you
What do
so
we-
much.
What do we think of someone driving into the pits with no brakes and having to be stopped by mechanics?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. That's got to stop as well. That's got to stop. The drivers have been told not to do that, and so far, these drivers are not getting penalties for doing it. If you're driving around without a front wheel, then or with broken suspension, that's not going to get repaired. You need to pull off the track in the right place, and there were plenty of right places for them to do it.
And the thing is, it's Monaco. Those guys will have that car off the track in 30 seconds.
Yeah, minimum penalty is unavoidable for Monaco.
No, maximum.
Oh, maximum penalty is unavoidable. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, maximum. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fair enough. As I say, I think that's by the record, because quality is so important.
There was only one driver that would accept him driving back to the pit with no tires or most of the tires out, and it's Gilles Villeneuve. That was the only one which was allowed to do that. Period. Oh, that's it.
Oh my goodness! I had to. We got copyright.
And getting in the pit, talking to Mauro Forghetti, asking, "Can you fix the car?" And then looking at it, half of the car, the rear drive was on the track, literally on the track. So can you fix it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a copyright strike for that. By the way, guys, just showing
Really?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
Just showing the Gilles Villeneuve driving back to the pit.
See? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
The footage that was used was under copyright, so never mind. It's all right. I just deleted it and went on. It's not like anybody's going to go back and watch it. So
yeah.
Hey, there you go. Is there anything else you'd like to mention about the Monaco Grand Prix before we move on?
No. Yeah. Not me.
I think we better mention the Drivers' Championship.
Oh yeah, let me just say that if you wouldn't.
Oh,
well, we've got Piastri still in the lead with 161. Norris is only 3 points behind, and then you've got Max Verstappen 136.
At 136, which is 25. Exactly the number of points they said that they wouldn't start bothering at. So yeah.
And of course, the
oh, hang on a minute, sorry, Lucky. I have to interrupt you there, Lucky. I remember Schumacher driving most of a lap on three wheels. Yeah, I also remember Lewis Hamilton doing it and winning a race.
Yeah, right. Well, to be fair, Schumacher had to drive on three wheels because he had to punch in the face Coulthard. So, yeah. That was the only way for him to be sure to actually get there and punch him in the face.
So the Constructors' Championship, it's runaway McLaren at the front with twice the points of the second Mercedes. They've got 319 compared with 147 compared with 143 for Red Bull, which is basically Max Verstappen. And then we've got Ferrari 142. So I guess if McLaren don't win the Constructors this year, something needs to be done at McLaren.
Absolutely.
Actually, what happened is something that we said last time. that because I think that the happiest driver to get out from Monaco is Verstappen. Because what we said last time that the championship is Verstappen, Piastri, and Norris, but Norris has to fight with Piastri and Verstappen. Piastri has to fight with Norris and Verstappen has to fight with those two, which goes without saying. But Verstappen has found somebody else to fuck somebody else up. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Bob says Verstappen is still in the race for the championship. I think
I agree.
absolutely one race, 25 points. That's one race. That's still well in terms of achievable, especially as we're not even halfway through yet. Remembering, I believe Lewis came back from like a near 70-point deficit one year, something like that, with a load of DNFs from Rosberg along the way. So yeah, I think.
and then we have next race is Barcelona with the new technical directive, and I can
Yep.
tell you for a fact I saw, and well, I didn't saw. I heard a guy, uh, uh, talking with Lambiase in Red Bull. In Red Bull, they are uh, totally 100% convinced that what is going to happen in Barcelona with the new flexi wing rule is going to be a huge advantage for Red Bull. They are absolutely certain about that.
I am very skeptical about the
Well,
certainty with which they have, because I look at the front camera and I see everybody's wing flexing almost the same amount. So I think all the teams have front
well,
wings
I mean,
that flexible.
we'll
Maybe
see
the
in a
rear
week.
wing thing makes a difference, but we will find out. That's what's exciting about Formula One. You never know, because technical developments can come and go in the blink of an eye, can they not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go.
Okay,
Okay.
go Lucky. Yeah,
There's.
42 minutes in.
Don't
40
I
minutes.
get? Don't I get to sing my little bit? My
Yes,
intro.
yes. Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
thank you. Okay, so I'll do that first
It's
then.
you're the singer, are you? You're the
Oh,
singer.
sorry. No, no, it's not me. Let
Oh,
me press the button then. Button press. It's the quiz. It's the miss. It's the miss. For a quiz. For a quiz. For a miss. For a miss and a quiz. It's the quiz and a miss and a miss. For a quiz and a miss. Miss quiz quiz. Miss quiz. Lucky.
And this song comes from Manscaped,
Yeah.
sponsored by
Oh, we
Manscaped.
haven't even done that yet,
Yeah,
have
I know, right? Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Moundscape with
okay.
Yeah.
new double end vibrator.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Do you want to elaborate more on that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's a
Oh, I
shame.
know.
I was looking for some gory details.
Yeah,
Okay, let's start off with the picture I've just sent you across in Discord. We're going to play Name the Car.
I know this car. Jesus
She
Christ.
knows this car. So if you wait, hold on, let the car come up, and we can all have an answer. Bob, of course, will be watching. He might be able to answer as well.
Okay, now I've got to do present thing. Image file.
I know this
Oh, no,
car.
that's not the right one.
Jesus.
I can't look at it yet because share screen is what I want. Application
your eyes
window.
closed?
There it is. There. Okay, there it is. Now I also know this car, but
I know this car. No, I mean I know this car. I can't remember the name. Super pissed. Oh shit.
Okay, well, I'll give you some clues if you like.
okay. Let's
Yeah.
let's have a little bit of time while we
Yeah,
can
well,
while we think on a little bit more.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you know it, Simos, you can say the name, without the clues.
I don't. I'm struggling. I'll
Oh,
be honest.
okay, you too. Okay, you're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But like I recognize it straight away. I just know how slow it
Yeah,
works.
yeah. I was just boom. I know.
Oh,
What the
Pup
fuck
says
is
no
that?
idea. No idea either. We're all three in the same boat.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so it's guess time. Let's have some guesses first, just in case one of us just go, oh yeah, that's it. I think it is.
Holy shit.
It'll come to me if I start thinking about it now. Is it like something like an Elmore or something like that?
Oh, well, no. That is a sign that you're thinking very hard. Let me give you that again. Let me say that again. That is a sign that you're thinking very hard.
Okay. So the engine is an Elmore?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It was a Ford Cosworth.
Bloody hell! I mean,
Fabio is showing a sign of thinking very hard at the moment.
Yeah. I got 2 glasses. So yeah, I'm really struggling because I know the moment you say that, I'll be fuck me sideways.
Bob Elvis's answer is a sign that he hasn't been watching Formula One for too long. So let me just repeat that. Simos, you have shown a sign that you're thinking very hard. Fabio is showing a sign that he's thinking very hard. And Bob has shown a sign that he hasn't watched Formula One for very long. And I've fucking practically given it to you now.
What? Yeah.
I
don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean, I got it on the tip of my tongue. I might as well have it on the tip of my
I don't know. BRM is the best.
No. It's not a BRM. No. It was a one-off. They tried that configuration. Those are radiators on the front of, obviously. So it's from the times where they have ground effect.
Yes. 1979.
Okay.
What was that? What year did you say?
1979.
79. Yeah. Okay, listen. I will kick myself.
Drivers of the car included Mark Suter, Derek Daly, and Patrick Gilliard.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
I think okay.
Oh, come on, guys. This is a sign that you guys don't know as much about Formula One as you think you do.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you that.
I've given the answer 4 times now, and you still haven't got it.
Was it an arrows?
No, but that's a sign that you're...
I don't know. Signal? Sign. It's a sign. That's the word you keep
Yeah. That's what we're looking for.
It's a sign.
So it's not an arrows. It's not an Neilmore. It's an ensign.
It's an ensign. Yeah, exactly. You got it. It's an ensign.
Right.
Hell. I couldn't think of an easier clue to give you.
I love Simon's going, Jesus Christ.
I think we both got that one, actually, Fabio. But there you go.
That was an ensign. Okay. That was indeed an ensign. It was an
ensign. Yeah, no, I mean, you probably said ensign, but I haven't heard you. And so, yeah, I mean, if you said that, I'm fine with that.
No, I didn't. I said sign. It's a sign of some sort, and then that obviously gave you ensign, which is fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
No, I was thinking about all the signs, point, comma. There was no racing team name point, no arrows. It wasn't. So what else? Your sign, just stop, not.
Anyway, as I said, it was an Ensign 179 driven by Derek Daly, Patrick Gilliard, and Mark Suter. There was 2 cars that year. There was the 177, and then they replaced it with this strange abomination that you see, or did see, on the track with the radiator right in front of the driver, which would have been great for washing their racing overalls, but not for the fact that it's going to burn through the fucking bone. So anyway, that was an enzyme.
Well, I mean, the reason was not that stupid. You put the radiator in front, you got your side pods lower. So, I mean, on paper,
absolutely, yeah, on paper it was an excellent idea. But
I think one of the reasons it didn't work was because the pipes were so long that they had to put so much water in all the circuit that lo and behold, it was a problem balancing the car too. Now, I mean, I'm now that I remember the whole thing, something is popping up in my mind, and I think something along those lines was a problem too.
Yeah, I think, as you said, it was one of those ideas that was exceptional on paper, but not so great once you get onto the racetrack. And if you had a front end shunt on that, you've got all that water in front of the driver. We all know what's going to happen. But anyway, that's today's question, which Fab got eventually. So he's Formula One Smart Arse of the Day. Well done, Fabio. So, as I said, and I mentioned we shouldn't talk too much about Monaco. Here's the thing. We all know Monaco and Formula One at the moment don't go together. Now, it might be possible that next year's cars, which are supposed to be smaller, might fit the track. But to be honest with you guys, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Monaco is perhaps past its best. However, here's something perhaps that you guys didn't know. There's one thing that's different about Monaco compared with all the other racetracks, and that is it keeps all its revenue money. The Monaco Sports Car Club keeps every single penny of merchandising, television rights, everything. Nothing goes to the FIA. So why don't, to keep the Monaco Grand Prix, Monaco take that money, build a racetrack somewhere outside of the Principality, and you can still have the Monaco Grand Prix. If they sign up for 10 years, they can use every single piece of revenue money to build an actual racetrack instead of just plowing the money into their own pockets.
Well, okay. So first of all, you got to be precise. It's the Automobile Club de Monaco. It's the ACM.
I don't speak.
I mean, they're very picky about that, and they got a king, so you got to be careful about that. The second thing is that if they go with your idea, they will make less money because they will have to rent a truck somewhere, or God forbid, build it.
My idea, Fab, was if they're going to sign another 10-year deal, which includes them keeping all the revenue money, they can more than afford to build a new racetrack. That's
okay. Why spending money if everybody wants to have a race there? All the drivers dream about winning in Monaco because it's a it's a big show. So
I mean, as soon as they get to the track, they're all, oh, this track's terrible. You can't overtake. This track's shit. I don't like this track. I want to win it, but the track's shit. I mean, that's what's that?
The appeal is there. Again. If it was like a 12 races, championship, I would probably agree with you more. But we've got 24 races, right?
No.
So
I've got a much better idea.
I think we can fit one in there. And also, I mean, if we go with that criteria, how many other trucks sucks balls in the championship that we should get rid of?
Well, but hold on. Last week we were talking about Imola going. What would you rather see go, Imola or Monaco? I'd rather see Monaco go.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course I would love. I mean, if you put a pistol to my head and you tell me that, of course, But again, I think it has a place. Still, it has a place. Also, because I think that qualifications in Monaco are the best qualification in all the calendar to watch.
Okay. Simas, what are you thinking?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm just preparing something.
Okay.
So you just do that. Here we go.
I think if it was the case that Imola goes and Monaco stays, it would be a travesty.
Application. There we go. Okay, so what I think is that they should use 1929 Formula One cars to race around there. Because 1929 was the first Monaco Grand Prix, and it was probably quite decent. So that's my idea. Use 1929 Monaco Formula One cars, or they weren't Formula One cars back then, but 1929 race cars to race around Monaco. And then they can still all win a classic historical race, and they'll look historical doing it. Can you imagine those little heads peeking out of the top of those cars Yeah. Yeah, that also will divide the men from the boys. I think we can all agree on that, can't we? So that's my idea. What do you think, Fabio?
No safety belts and fuel all around you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Men from the boys. Men from the
Yes.
boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
I
mean,
like it.
I agree with you. I mean, they should make. It might again, sound like a broken record. I apologize for that. The main issue with Monaco right now is that they're too wide. You can't possibly pass. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's not exciting racing.
Hello, Phantom. By the way, hello, Phantom. Good to see
and
you. Thank you so much.
someone getting an advantage like Mansell did against Senna in whatever year it was, 91 or 92. If you could have cars like that or battles like that all the time, sure, because one of them is going to eventually make a mistake, and a car can get past. But that's not what's happening at the moment. It's procession. Who wants processions? Nobody.
Nobody does. Hello, Sonny. By the way,
Hey,
hello,
Sonny.
Sonny. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. You're always welcome.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a difference between something being really hard and impossible. 2 or 3 years ago, I remember Leclerc passing somebody at the Louvres, the Fairmont, the airpin, and he actually managed to do that. Rascasse was another place where you could actually try. At the end of the tunnel, I mean, there were places where people at least made an effort, tried. Russell had to go through the chicane because how the fuck are you gonna
Yeah.
pass it? It's so wide, it's impossible. So
Yeah. I mean, if we
Well,
want gimmicks, I can give you gimmicks, right?
mhm.
How about this, right? They have another little bit. After you come out of the tunnel, you go down into that little doobie bit. You have a straight on bit through there, and you can only use that 5 times during the race. I mean, if that isn't a gimmick, I don't know what is.
Oh, like a Joker lap.
Yeah, like a Joker lap, exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. How about you give somebody a motorboat, right, at one end, just before the tunnel, right, and they go down, they park the car, right, and then they can just quickly zoom over in a high-speed powerboat to a car waiting in the pits, and then they take off again. I mean, gimmicks. You want gimmicks? We can have plenty of gimmicks.
I mean, water cannons from the sea.
Yeah, water cannons from
Yeah.
the sea would be brilliant.
Yeah, right.
Just randomly generated.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I think
Ben.
we all agree that something has to be done, but then we all agree that Monaco needs to stay in some shape or form. And
Oh, do we? Do we? No,
well,
I don't think
it
I agree
deserves
with
its time. It's been there from the very start, and it's been a huge supporter of Formula One. So,
well, apart from the fact that they've never given any revenue back, yes.
well,
Yeah.
that's
Apart from that, they've been a huge supporter.
well, I mean, what are they paying for? What is the cost for the
Well,
track? I don't think
Allegedly,
pay
the
for
reason
track.
they don't,
I think they only,
allegedly,
think
the reason they have the dispensation is because it costs them so much to build the track every year.
yeah.
Oh, but by the way, they closed those. I said it already. They closed those roads like a month before.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I just thought it was a
Yeah.
week before.
No.
I
Because
thought they used to open it up as well.
Oh,
during the weekend.
I know they close and open it up, close and open it up, but it goes around for at least 3 weeks because they have historic races. They got all the things going on.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you watch the historic Monaco racing, you'll see Formula One cars passing each other. You'll see
Yeah.
brilliant battles. But as soon as
And
we
why
get to
is
the
that?
modern cars, Monaco.
Yeah, but
No.
why is that?
Well, the cars were different, of course. I mean, we're talking 70s cars. Which
Yeah,
are
they
not-
have space. I mean, you could fit two. After the pools, before the tobacconist corner and the Anthony again. I mean, you could fit two cars. You know, they could stay two cars,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah.
Okay, I
So I
think
mean,
somebody's taking the piss now.
yes, yeah, probably, yeah. I loved you up to this point. Now you're pushing it a little bit, man.
there's always someone that steps over the line, isn't there? Just goes too
Oh
far.
dear.
Yeah.
Well, talk about stepping over the line. What about Phantom saying that they could use missiles, machine guns, and cow drops and smoke screens? That would definitely add a little souchant. I don't know what the word is.
Well, I mean that might be dangerous, but you know, foam might be a nice thing.
That might be dangerous. It might be.
Well, no, yeah, just foam. You know, the one you use. You know, yeah, foam
Yeah.
at the casino. You should have okay. So in front of the casino, you should have a guy with either cards or a roulette, and they spin the roulette, and when you get some numbers, they got some foam cannon spraying on that part of the circuit, just in
Yeah.
front of the casino.
I've got a better idea.
There you go.
How about they open the doors at the casino every now and again and let somebody that's lost everything walk out across the track.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what would really sort the men out from the boys at Monaco is same cars with manual gearbox and clutch. See how well they do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
on a personal note, I can guarantee you that watching Monaco and knowing the place, I always said, okay, I walked that road and there was no space, and I parked my motorbike there, and I know how wide the corner is, and it blows my fucking mind how the fuck they managed to actually drive through that. Alonso's car would have smashed my motorcycle because that's where I parked my motorcycle, you know, at the Thunderbolt. And I guarantee you, it was just my motorcycle, a van, and another car. That's it. That's all the place it gets. And
Nah.
it's really
Hey,
hard.
look. Hey, look. We're going to complain about it, as we've said. It's a historic circuit.
Yeah,
I would be, and when races are good at Monaco, they are very good. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, we know there's not a lot of overtaking, and I think we've become accustomed to overtaking because of the things like DRS and
yeah,
and all these little things they've done to try and make it more overtaking. Back in the day when there wasn't much overtaking at races anyway, and you'd get maybe 4 or 5 overtakes,
yeah,
everything was down to pit strategy.
yeah.
Everything was down to pit strategy, and that's what we used to watch it for. So I just think, yeah, I mean, maybe we're a little spoilt now, thinking that a track like
Yeah.
Monaco can. It doesn't help. You're right, Lucky. It doesn't help. And I think we said this last week as well. It doesn't help that the cars have got so big that they can't even go side by side around Rascasse anymore. And they used to be able to do that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, fair enough. We're never going to get a decent race at Monaco, provided that the cars are in the same format they are. They're saying
Well,
that next year, potentially, with the new DRS regulations and stuff, that this might be slightly different.
And the
But I don't know.
and the
cars are slightly
dimensions.
smaller.
Yeah.
No, not the dimensions. It's because of the way that the DRS works. So they might be able to say you
No,
can
no, no,
only
no,
use.
no, no. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't. So I want to add to what you said, the fact that your
Oh,
dimensions would be
yeah, the
small. So that
dimensions, but
would help. So, yeah,
the
yeah.
dimensions are going to make very little difference. To be
Oh,
honest, because they're still going to be too big. The difference in size of the cars is less than 10%. So it's just not going to make much of a difference, particularly. It needs to be a huge difference to make a difference there. However, they are saying that they may be able to tweak the rules with the DRS next year to make it effective only down some of the straights, and that you can't use it whenever you want. In which case, yeah, maybe we'll get more overtaking with a bit of help from DRS, whereas we don't currently get that. Right now, the DRS is so ineffective and um, such a short period because of the way that you can't use it in the corners and stuff. That it makes little difference. So there's a few things that maybe next year will change, and maybe I'm just being an optimist. I don't know. Maybe some people say I'm a dreamer. Some people say I'm just an idiot, so